Hello everyone, I'm here with Henri Buehler, who you probably know from the Twitch poker streets, and actually he's out here in EPT Prague, and he came second in a 2.1k turbo last night for 40k euros. How's it going, Henry?
Pretty good. I mean, I just busted a 2k, the second one that run today, but yeah, 40k score, always nice.
Can't complain about 40k score,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Now, before we touch on that, I want to talk a little bit about an insane run that you had this summer during... It was in Vegas, right? At the Venetian, I think it was. Can you tell us a little bit about that and sort of how that came about?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously always streamed on Twitch and try to mix in some more live tournaments, so I do the occasional stop, because if I only stream all the time, it just kind of gets a bit boring, and I want to see both sides of poker, you know, and be a complete poker player, so decided to go to Vegas for a month with some friends, and yeah, just went pretty well, ran deep in a 3.5k at the Venetian, finished second in the end. Was a sick fight on the final table, like a bunch of legends were deep as well, and yeah, got lucky enough to finish second for 250k. And
250k.
Yeah.
I looked as well on your Hendon. That's like the largest cash by like 10 times the amount that you've ever made, right? How did it sort of feel to win such a big amount?
It's kind of complicated because the final table was so stressful that it's really like it's a long day. It's all that pressure. I just try to play my best. And so it was really, really exhausting. And at the first, like, I would have been really happy about second, but then I got it in really good in the heads up when we had even stacks suddenly and lost it. So it was like, fuck, okay, I didn't get the trophy now and the extra 160k for first. So it was kind of like in between, you know.
Yeah.
I really wanted the trophy and to win the thing, but yeah, it didn't happen.
Let's talk a little bit about sort of, so the run that we're going to talk about in a minute, you came second as well. How does it affect you to like not quite go over the line and not quite win the trophy? Does it mean so much to you to win the trophy, or is it more about like how much you're winning in an event?
For me, it's always the trophy, to be honest. Like, I'm somebody, I just want to get the most out of the tournament. Then it feels like I did it all. And if the first place is 8k or 800k, obviously makes a difference. But the feeling of just winning it is, I don't know, is what I enjoy the most, to be honest. So yeah, obviously sucks to finish second twice, but both times the heads up was pretty good, and I'm happy how I played it. So
we need to get you a trophy cabinet so you can start building some trophies for that cabinet, right? Okay.
But it's also like a nice motivation to keep on grinding.
Of course.
The trophy is still like somewhere on the horizon. So
Well, maybe you'll win the main event this year, and then you can have the bracelet in the first one, right?
Wouldn't be too bad.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about last night. It was a turbo event, so there might not be super interesting hands, but are there any kind of spots that you can talk about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's interesting spots at the start, but then it goes really fast. Everybody has 10 big blinds, especially in the final table. You just have to make some folds. It was really cool because Fintan, who also streams on Twitch, I mean, most people know him, was deep, and I got the chance to slow roll him.
All right.
It was really, really
Tell
sick.
us about that.
So we obviously talked before, and then he joined our table with 13 left, and he sits down the first hand, makes an Instagram story that I'm on the table.
Right.
It's like, how funny would it be if I bust here and I don't get to upload it?
Okay.
I look at my hand, I have pocket aces under the gun and open. It's up to Fintan, and he goes all in. I'm already laughing, I'm like, this is unreal. And I look at it, I'm like, I'm not sure if I should call here. Could I have a count, please? He looks at me, I tank a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, I call and turn over aces, and like he didn't expect it at all. Like instantly got up and had to run a little bit, just like mad with that one. Like I got him so good, it was the dream, because we obviously battle online a bunch. We stream at the same times often and play the same tournaments, so we try to get each other's bounty in certain PKO tournaments. But to get that spot in a live setting, first hand, to just slow roll him like that is the absolute dream. Like that felt better than the second place.
So it's all kind of done in good jest because you're friends, right? He wasn't like too annoyed at you.
No.
What hand did he have out of interest?
He had pocket eights.
Oh, okay.
So
and he didn't hit an 8, right?
No, and I was like, there's no justice MTTs, like you're never getting there. Like for the slow, really nasty, and it's just perfect, you know.
It's amazing. So anything on the final table where, you know, like any interesting spots then?
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting. Like we were all short, obviously, and then at some point I had a few more chips than the other guys, and we had like 3 stacks that had 14 big blinds, pretty similar in stacks, and I had like 25, so I have more, and I just wanted to apply pressure onto everyone and, you know, get the first place. They try to not bust, so they get the ladder. And it's up to me in the small blind, it folds to me, and I have 10-6 offsuit for 14 big blinds, and usually you either fold or limp in that spot.
Yep.
I went all in because the big blind has to fold a lot of hands because of that scenario where he doesn't want to bust.
Yeah.
But he actually made a pretty big mistake in my opinion and ended up calling with King 9 offsuit, which is obviously fine when you're not on a final table, but here he really doesn't want to bust, and yeah, there was a lucky 6 on the river and he had to go.
Can we explain a little bit about like why that might be a bad call? So you said you had about 25 bigs, is that right?
Yeah.
And everyone else had about 14 bigs?
Yeah, so the other 3 guys had very similar stacks, like something between 12 and 17 each. So at this point you're just trying to outlast the other guy, and it's really important that you do not call all-ins pretty much. Like you always try to go for it, because then most of the times people just fold and you get it through and win some chips. But calling all-ins, you're at risk, you might bust, and suddenly like these other two guys just get an easy ladder and win an additional like 4 or 5, maybe 10K. So it's really, really important to pay attention to that on fine tables, to not call all-ins. Obviously, if you have a very strong hand.
I think that's a really good point that you're making, is that especially when you're the big stack, you're the one who can apply the pressure on all these players, but they should be looking to get their money in first, but not be calling it off, especially when there's two people that are similar stacks. The blinds are going to go round, they're going to get shorter and shorter. So I think that's a really interesting point. And although it's not like a specific hand history, I think we're talking more about ICM here, right? And about how it's important to make sure that you're not the one calling, you're the one applying the pressure.
Exactly.
Is that right? Yeah.
That's something really to be aware of when you're generally playing final tables, because I came into the final table, I was short, I was like 7th in chips with 8 left, and I just folded a little bit, then we're down to 4, and I made an additional like 12K just by folding. Like that's just so easy, like you don't open, like no hand that you play otherwise makes it 12K, right? So
would you say like it's a mistake a lot of amateurs or recreational players will make, is that they don't really kind of take this ICM on board? They're just kind of playing what, like that King 9 is probably a call if you're not in the money so much, and there's still like 50 people to go, and there's only paying like 10 people. But I found when I play as well that recreationals don't adjust when you get into the money, and you have to think about laddering.
Yeah, for sure. Like there were some all-ins in fine tables, and the calls that happened were insane. And I'm just sitting there printing money, and this is amazing for me, But it's really, really important not to call off the all-ins there.
Well, congratulations again on your score. Are you going to be playing any more events while you're here?
Yeah, I might jump into the 10K that runs on Sunday. There's a 1K tomorrow, so I'm grinding. There's still a trophy, right?
Yeah,
so
you still need to get that trophy for your
exactly.
trophy cabinet. Well, thanks very much for coming on, Henry.
Cheers.
Really appreciate it. I'm Oliver Biles for PokerNews.com.